being a firstborn alone na stress. Imagine that you are the firstborn who is stressed and then you are dating another stressed firstborn. That's a stressed relationship. If you're the firstborn child of your family, at what point did you resume your position, of taking care of your family, your siblings? At what point? I mean, who prepared you for this role?
Ryan Little.
Hey Bethans, what's up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Austin Betha. Welcome back to Betha's Corner, my corner, our corner, okay? And here we talk about, everything, lifestyle, food. And these days, I really want to start sharing my unpopular opinions on certain topics. And today we're talking about the whole struggle, that comes with being a firstborn child in a Nigerian home or in Africa. Because I know that these things are not just peculiar in Nigeria. These things also happen in other African countries. So if that's something you can relate with, then it would be nice for you to listen to me. And then, of course, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Okay. And I'm going to be starting off with the whole idea of cultural expectations, that comes with you being the first child. So many things are required of you. You suddenly become the parent, even though your parents are there, for some reason you become the parent. And sometimes I'm wondering, at what point you realize that that was your duty. I mean, like, whoever taught us to, take responsibility? Who gave us the idea? Like, where did it come from? Because I know that growing up, I used to be this kid that would depend on my parents for everything. Like, when did the switch happen? When did I suddenly become that person that, when something is going wrong in my family, I'm just like, oh my god, Becca, I need to fix it. At what point did that happen? I mean, if you have an idea, if you're a firstborn child and you have an idea as to when exactly that switch happened, please let me know, because me, I cannot remember. And it's just really worrisome, because not only do you have, cultural expectations, like I mentioned, it also comes with some level of financial burden, right? You suddenly become that person that needs to pay for certain things. You probably need to pay for your siblings' school fees, you need to see them through school, especially when you're not from a wealthy home, quote and unquote, where your parents, have all the trust funds and all of that. I mean, I don't know what trust funds are, because trust what? So there are certain times when you have to, take up responsibility, you have to, pay for things. Even when you are struggling, you still have to do these things. You still need to cater to the household expenses, and all of these things, they come with some level of emotional breakdown. And this is the part that a lot of people do not know about, except, the first ones, and just, people that pay attention to them. All right. Being the first child, and I'm not even talking first daughter, first son now, because trust me, going into details of the struggles of being the firstborn daughter, if I start, we probably will not finish. Okay, so I'm just tailoring this down to just being the firstborn in general, right? Now, this whole emotional toll it takes on, the firstborn is something that people don't often talk about it. Guys, being the firstborn child comes with a very heavy weight of responsibility, and I'm saying that with all level of, authority, because I know what I'm speaking about, right? It comes with this whole level of responsibilities, and the problem with this is there's really no space for you to express yourself. A lot of firstborns actually struggle with the feelings of isolation, because we don't have anybody to talk to. Okay, like, nobody is there to listen, except you have like really caring siblings who pay attention. Sometimes the parents do not even know about these things, because you're probably not living with them. They don't have an idea. And again, most of our parents are not really, I don't know how to explain it. They're not as exposed as, one would expect. And I can't really blame them. You cannot give what you don't have, right? They were not brought up like that. They did not know what, isolation was, because I mean, it wasn't a thing back then. So sometimes they don't even know how to handle it. So you find a lot of firstborn children, suffering from, isolation. They're constantly stressed out. they're always anxious. And I'm saying they like I'm not there, but I mean, I know what I'm talking about because I'm a firstborn child as well. And I know that these are some of the things that I struggle with sometimes. And it's bad because it's not really talked about. So it's almost like you're suffering and smiling. You just have to go through all of these things and still put up a smile. Like people still want you to be happy. People still want you to show up and show off. And sometimes for me, it's like, nah, I'm tired. Okay, I am tired. And I'm not even talking about just the monetary part now because I mean, I'm that person who when I have, everybody knows that I have, okay? And when I don't have, I don't have, okay? Nobody's going to kill me. And the honest truth is, I realized that I could say no just last year. Yeah, just last year. I mean, I would go out and about, I would go up and above just to make sure that when something needs to be done, when something needs to be fixed, I mean I literally was the fixer. In fact, I am still the fixer. But then I now know that there's time to say yes and there's time to say no. Now, do not get me wrong here. When something needs to be done in my family, until I get it done, I will not rest. But the difference between now and then is that I will only try to get it done when I can. Before I'll just be like, oh, I need to do this. Like I'll almost have a panic attack because something needs to be done and all of that. But now, see, some things actually happen to you as you grow up. You begin to realize that nobody is indispensable, okay? I mean, if you do not have it, they will find another way. They will. And that's something that as firstborn children, we need to speak to ourselves because again, like I said earlier, we do not particularly have people, that we confide in every other time. You know how like your younger siblings will come to you, oh, sister, this thing happened, brother, this thing happened. They have someone to speak to. You. But then who do you have to speak to? Nobody. So a lot of times we just swallow whatever it is that we're dealing with. A lot of times we just deal with it. There are certain times when I will just sit in my room and just cry for no reason, you know. And it's just the fact that I'm overwhelmed with a lot of things. I'm overwhelmed with just the fact that I'm occupying that position. And you know that there's also a mystery. There's also the law of firstborn. And this is also biblical, right? I'm not just talking, let's just talk about life generally. Even in the Bible, you would see that there were constantly struggles, that the firstborn children had to deal with. Cain and Abel, Esau, all these stories, when you read them in the Bible, you also understand that there's always been this whole struggle, there's always been this whole chaos that comes with being the firstborn child. And the truth is, once you are the first of anything, first to get married, first to go to school, first to be born, first, there's already this pressure, there's already a pattern. So it's almost like once the first child, gets it wrong, there's a high chance that the rest of the kids may follow suit. I'm not saying that that happens, 100%, but then you'd see that there's always this pressure on the first child to get it right. You have to, get the best grades in school. You have to be married at this age. You have to be this. You have to be that. It's almost like they're using you as the template. Your parents don't know what they're doing. Okay, they've never been parents before, so you are the scapegoat. Do you understand? They go use you test run how to raise children. Okay, if I slap this child here with the ear on this side, will it swallow? Na your ear dem go first test am before dem go come know say okay, we no go slap our second pikin like that. So it's a very sensitive position. And the truth of the matter is, as the firstborn child, let me just tell you now, as the firstborn child, you as an individual, you need to be very prayerful because trust me, there's a lot of attacks on firstborn children. I know I'm sounding like a pastor now, but it's just the truth. There's an attack. The devil doesn't like it. The devil is not, I mean, he's not going to be happy that, oh, as the firstborn child, your life is just going to go straight forward so that the other siblings can follow suit because it's a pattern. when you get it right, there's a high chance that your siblings would as well. So he is constantly fighting the firstborn. So you as a person need to be spiritually attentive. Okay, you need to be prayerful. Even to God, you're very valuable. You remember in the Bible when they were getting to the promised land, and God had instructed that all firstborn children, all the firstborn sons, and by sons, obviously, we know it's not just the male children, right? All firstborn sons and even the firstborn animals be consecrated. God literally said they are mine, they belong to me. And that goes to show how important your role as a firstborn child is. As much as it comes with a lot of struggles, as much as it comes with a lot of, you know, it comes with a lot of stress, right? But you need to also understand that you were put there for a reason. And despite how tasking, how overwhelming it can get sometimes, you have someone who put you there. You didn't put yourself there. So when the going gets tough, who do you lean back on? Him. Your parents cannot help you. No, they can't. And it's okay to, have those moments where, you're just feeling really down, you are crying. Guys, I had a session with my dad a few days ago. I was speaking to my dad on the phone and I just started crying. Literally. Like, I was overwhelmed. We were talking about, some family things, and it's like, oh my goodness, like, I'm tired. I literally told my dad, I am tired. Like, I don't know where that came from, but at that moment, that was how I felt. And I just voiced it because the truth is, you would barely find me talking to anybody about these things. I won't. My best bet would be my sister. Yes. And, you know, she would say the bits she can just to motivate me, just to get me back on track and all of that, which I truly appreciate. It really helps when you have siblings who have that level of understanding, who are able to sit you down and just speak to you in those low moments. It helps a lot, and for this I'm grateful for the kind of siblings that I have, because trust me, you need the support that you can get. Okay, now when you even bring this whole thing to marriage, imagine a firstborn dating a firstborn or getting married to a firstborn. I know there was a time my sister and I were in a cab and I was having a bad day, right? I was on the call with one of my uncles, and we were just going back and forth. And you know how they feel the need to always let you know what's happening in the family. They want you to be involved as the first child. You should, guys, like, don't talk to me about it. But then there's always the need for them to let you know, just in case something happens and all of that. And I know that day I was literally yelling. Embarrassing, yes, but I was literally yelling because the conversation wasn't even going well at all. And then when I finished the phone call, the driver had said to me, Auntie, just calm down. I know how you feel. My wife is the firstborn child as well. And this is the same thing she goes through. And I'm like, okay, if it is like this for every firstborn daughter, who automatically becomes the mini mommy of the house. You need to take care of your siblings, you need to make sure they are okay, you need to, you just resume the role of a mom. Now imagine marrying a firstborn son. A firstborn son too that has responsibilities in his own family. Then talk you will now join. Like, how the marriage want to go? Who will help who? Who will help who in times of mental breakdown? Like, imagine I'm going through stuff in my family and my husband is going through stuff in his family. Like, who will help who? Guys, let me know, what do you think about getting married to a firstborn child, as a firstborn child yourself? Like, is that something you're willing to explore? And if you're already in that space, like, how is that going? I know that sometimes it goes well. I know some people know how to manage these things, and their marriages go smoothly. But then there's also this whole chaos that comes with all of these things. You know, Dating a firstborn alone na stress. Let's be honest. Dating a firstborn na stress. And I'm saying it because I know how I have stressed the people around me. You know, now imagine that you are the firstborn who is stressed, and then you are dating another stressed firstborn. That's a stressed relationship. That's a stressed marriage there. Who you want talk to? Who I not really understand. You go be big mommy for your own side, you go be big mommy for your husband side, because now you be the first wife, abi, because na first son you marry. Big mommy, you be big mommy for here because all your other siblings now, their children, they be calling you big mommy. So do you know the amount of responsibilities you have already as big mommy here, big mommy there? And like, guys, let me know, are you open to dating a firstborn child after firstborn, or you're just like, you know what, leave me for my last born. I'm not going to marry any firstborn. I'm the firstborn, I'll marry last. Or I'm the firstborn, I'll marry the second child, I'll marry the third child, anything else but the first child. Let me know. Do you have that amount of reservation, or you've just never thought about it and you're just like, any which way, Jerry, we move? Let me know, guys. I'm really curious because, to be honest, it's a lot. Imagine ending up with a firstborn. Or even last born, so everybody say they behave like pikin. I mean, what is the perfect match, guys? What is the perfect match? Like, let me know if you've ever thought about these things, okay? And you know that with all these things I've been saying, there are still some firstborns that don't care, right? I mean, they don't care about any responsibility. You cannot stress them. They will give you when they have it or when they feel like it. Like, they are not taking responsibility for anybody. They will tell you, I have friends like that who will tell you that me na person born me sef, so no, I no dey give dem. If dem no go fit find their step, if dem no go fit find their bearing as my younger siblings, make dem dey there. I no go do jack. I mean, there are people like that. So is that something that you do as the firstborn child, or you're just that person who, you want to make sure? I'm that type of, firstborn who wants to make sure that everybody is good. And sometimes it's like I'm pouring out, but then, like, who's pouring into me? you know I'm just give, take, but like, I need help over here too, like, can you give me too? Can you Do you get what I mean? Like, these things are real life struggles, and I know that we do not talk about these things a lot often. So I thought it would be nice for us to discuss that. Let me know, guys. I know that this video was probably all over the place, but I hope that you were able to, take a few things from here. And also, I'm hoping that you're willing to share your experiences with me as the first child. And, most importantly, if there's nothing else you're taking away from this video, understand your position as the firstborn child is not a mistake. It looks tasking, it is tasking, but it is doable through the help of God, because, to be honest, that's the only helper you can have. And then the best thing that would ever happen to you is having a very supportive partner, someone who understands that you're not just living for yourself alone, someone who understands that sometimes you make sacrifices for your family. Trust me, that's the best partner you can ever have. And so when you're praying for a life partner, please pray for a kind man. Or if you're a firstborn son, pray for a kind woman. Pray for someone who has this understanding, or who would, be willing to just let some things slide, because sometimes we firstborn children can be really, we can be doing too much, okay? Yeah, you're probably hungry, and then you have 20 naira and you want to give it out. You have no eating. Do you get what I mean? So praying for a partner that understands you has to be like one of your top prayer points. It's not, tall, chisel dagger, chisel chest, about the thing they talk about, broad shoulder. Those things don't matter. Now be chisel this thing you go use send money give your mama, send give your husband mama. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Set your priorities right. It's not about chisel this thing and broad wetin. Broad shoulder wey be say the shoulder broad but nothing, not enough fit support you mentally, enough fit help you financially, not like, please pray right, okay? Pray right. Ask God for the right things, because it's not easy out here. All right, I'm just going to leave it at this, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. If you enjoyed watching this video, please make sure to give me a very big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And if there are other, topics, hot topics you would want me to discuss, let me know in the comment section, or send me an email if you prefer that. And of course, I would sit here and talk about them. All right. I love you guys so much, and of course, I'll see you guys on the next one. Okay, bye.